Audit them, the one who encourages you to audit them. Just wait for a few people to get in here. If you guys see the title of the video, Husky. Can First Amendment auditors, or is First Amendment auditing dead? And the question is, can Illinois auditors save it? Hey Richard, how's it going? Richard Hunt. If everybody would please hit the thumb up. Yardy, what's up, my boy? Man, Yardy, he put donations on my channel that costed him to cut down trees. Him paying money to my channel costed him cutting down trees so we could serve more paperwork to these municipalities. With that money, I purchased ink. Canada here. Hello there, Canada. So this is the question here. The question is First Amendment auditing dead? And can Illinois auditors save the niche, or save the duty, however you want to call it? First, we're going to take some inquiries before I start sharing some ideas here. Can someone confirm if you hear the audio? Please press 1. All right, great. Hello there, Alan MC. So I want to know first, to begin with, guys, if anybody could please answer the question: is First Amendment auditing dead? Richard says no. Please explain, Rich. Please explain. I reserve my opinion. I will give you guys my opinion, but first I want to hear from everybody else. And it's like we got 43 people in here. If you folks could match up the thumb up. Museum shop services. That's not the question there, my friend. Let's try to stay on topic here. So Sapphire is saying First Amendment auditing is helping. Derpy says only post offices are dead. Yeah, man. Yardy's saying no, I don't think it still educates the ignorant. Museum, I'm not sure. We're not speaking on the Charlie Kirk right now. We're just focused on this one inquiry right now. Richard says every auditor has their own way of expressing their freedom of press. I agree with that 1000%. I agree with that. And Ack is saying no, but people don't seem to be learning too fast, are they? Well, here's my opinion, whether it means anything or not. But first we want to hear from some other people. Before I give my opinion, I want to hear from some other people. And I think my opinion matters because I conducted a bunch of audits, right? So I would think my opinion does matter somewhat. But first we want to hear from the people. I'm always yapping. Now it's time to hear out from the people. So, Grandy's Garden. Okay, on the mark says, if people don't keep doing it, it will go back to the old ways. Does anyone do audits in Hawaii? Says Zen. I think there was a couple auditors that traveled to Hawaii, but I don't know if there's a resident auditor in Hawaii. I'm not sure. Hey, Fufu, how's it going, Fufu? Fufu, what's up? So yeah, if we could find out from everybody in here. We got 40 people in here, but we only had a few people actually speak about this topic. So if we could get more people to speak about this topic. Good, good. I'm hanging in there. Coming along like a come along. Coming along like a come along. Any other opinions? Is First Amendment auditing dead, or what do you guys think? I think there's a distinction right now between First Amendment auditing and people exercising their right. Right, right. But you see, I don't know, man. I think that the DH says auditors are professional, annoying twats. DH, it is. Are you talking about all auditors, or in general, or is there specific some that you're not putting in that bundle. Well, it says we have 50 people in here, but about only 4 people actually chatting. Either the rest are bots or naysayers in the background. So yeah, I want to give you guys my opinion, right? I think my opinion matters, again, because I have some experience with this stuff. I'm out there in the field. But before I start giving you my opinion, I want to find out from the people. Yeah, Sapphire, I agree with you. And you know what? There's new auditors popping up every single day, right? Out of nowhere, you see a new YouTube channel with somebody holding a selfie stick with 7 subscribers that's out there, and they know the lingo. Even, you know, salute to all the auditors, because they taught these newcomers and they taught a lot of people about their rights. These new auditors that are popping up with 7, 6 subscribers, they know the lingo. They know the reasonable articulable suspicion. They know, am I being detained? You know, so that's a beautiful thing. What First Amendment auditors are doing is that they're teaching many people to know their basic constitutional rights, right? I agree with that. Another thing that I could say is salute to all the auditors, because now the regular people, especially here in Chicago, the regular residents that don't even know what First Amendment auditing is, but now, because of all the ICE raids, they're starting to sound like auditors. A lot of people are holding up cameras now, recording ICE deporting people, and these citizen bystanders are saying, they're starting to sound like auditors. They're saying, what's your name and what's your badge number? Do you have a warrant? You know what I'm saying? So really, if you think about it, you gotta salute all the First Amendment auditors, because they really brought change in the minds of the masses, especially when it comes to the Constitution. They brought in these few elements. Now, Richard Hunt is making a great point. He's saying we need more to deal with FOIA. Well, here's how the strategy should be. A brand new auditor that picks up a camera today or tomorrow and starts a brand new channel with 1 subscriber, a brand new auditor should start off silly. They should start off auditing post offices and being trespassed. They should start off silly like that. No, I'm being sarcastic. A brand new auditor should start off better than experienced and seasoned auditors now, because the data and the knowledge is out there. First of all, you got ChatGPT. ChatGPT was not around. It had only been around for 2 years. I've been auditing for 5 years before ChatGPT came out. So there's no excuses to gain knowledge, right? But other than that, new auditors, they really gotta get into this FOIA stuff, man. I'm telling you. On the Mark says, what would haters hate on if people stop auditing or cop watching? Well, the haters, they're one word could describe them. Marid. A hater is described by one word, marid. That means sick in the head. Now, the reason why I got in the title of this video is, can Illinois auditors save this genre? And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because, first of all, go to my About section. You're going to see my auditing with results that you're not going to find on none of the 9,000 auditors. I'm not saying this to be cocky. I'm just saying this because there's two distinctions here. One, I continue to read the law and inform myself. Two, Illinois law is written different than any other law in the United States. Illinois FOIA law specifically is written to empower the people. And what I'm telling you is there's 13 other states that are similar to Illinois. Not all 50 of them, but all 50 states have our great constitution. So everybody has the right to exercise their right. But now when it comes time to FOIA auditing, there's 13 states in the United States that can really impact your auditing and give you results. Okay? So is auditing dying out? By the donkeys and assholes, some donkeys and assholes that are running around with their camera, they're giving it a bad flavor. Yeah, they're exercising their right, peon. But the thing is, that's not good enough, because like I said, and like I've been saying for 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years now, is 98% of the auditors, when they come encounter with the government official or police officer, the auditor is always the one yapping and the one who's being interrogated and the one who's talking to the police officer, and the auditor is the one who looks like the problem, right? I graduated from that. That's how I was when I first started. But I came a long way. Now, if I ever come in contact with a government official while auditing or a police officer, they're the ones who should be doing the yapping. They're the ones who are the subjects. They're the ones who are actually in the wrong, because I'm holding them to it. First of all, I'm guaranteeing compliance is not being met from these government officials. Then when the police officer shows up, I'm kind of like putting the officer in a bind, where the officer is now witnessing on his body camera my testimony that these government officials are actually committing a crime. See, that's what's going to save auditing. That mindset right there. That when you got your camera as an auditor and you're pointing the camera at a government official, you are aware that the government official is violating the law. So you see, this is the thing, this is the distinction, and this is the new thing of how we have to have auditors out here auditing, is that when an auditor steps foot out and he walks into any of these government agencies, the auditor has to have in his mind that he's out there auditing to guarantee, to confirm that the government agency he's at or the police officer he's engaged with is actually the one who's violating the law, and he has to document that. He has to audit that, right? Look, for instance, the 20 agencies, government agencies that I have on my About section. 9 out of 10 of those government agencies, 20 examples, those were radical employees. Those were employees committing crimes, guaranteed committing crime. Yardy, you're hurting me, Yardy. You're hurting me, my friend. You're hurting me. You're lighting up my screen with brightness, my friend. I thank you so much for that, my friend. Man, Yardy just sent me a $50 for the gas. It's unbelievable, Yardy. It's unbelievable. So I thank you so much, Yardy. So you guys see the mindset there. The mindset is these auditors, they have to go out there knowing the fact that they're 1000% in the right. It's no longer a question whether they have a constitutional right to film government officials in the course of their duties or in public, period. The auditor should step out every time knowing that the actual thing that he or she auditor wants to uncover is government wrongdoing, right? So what could government wrongdoing be in Illinois? One step could be, is this government agency concealing public records from the naked eye, from the people? Are they concealing very important documentation? Are they withholding this information not only from their staff members, but from the people? So in Illinois, it's special, but there's 13 other states that have that similar inquiry. Hey, Birdie P, Shaggy Hippie, how's it going? Futoy, man, I thank you so much for that one, Yardy. Yardy always comes through, man, I'm telling you. We gotta sponsor him. We gotta get him a flight out here to Chicago and turn him into an auditor. Get him a clipboard, a pencil, and graphics in his hair. Come down to Champaign, Illinois. Yeah, you know what? I was in Champaign a couple months ago. I think I went to Urbana, right next to Champaign. But I was down there in Champaign County, or close to, yeah, around there. So you see, this is what I'm telling you guys, is that we have to have a new mindset. And the reason why I say, can auditors save this genre, is because I really strongly believe that the Illinois auditors, if they step their game up, it's very simple. It's very, very simple. All they would need is to understand certain sections of the Illinois Freedom of Information Act. You know, you see, the way that I audit personally is I go in there with a point and I get to my point directly. I walk in there and I immediately ask one of the employees for something to do with FOIA. Other auditors, what they like to do is they like to go in first, which I can't dispute this, that's their style. Auditors like to go in first, exercise their right, which they have the right to do, and then at the last moment, when the employees think that that auditor has no business being in there, the auditor pulls out and says, well, yes, of course I have business here. I'm going to be filing a FOIA request. I like that style too, you know, because it puts the employees, making them look like they're assuming and they don't know what's going on. Besides the auditor wanting to fill out a FOIA, the auditor has the right to reproduce public records, right? He can go in there and take pictures of everything public inside any of these government agencies. So that's a right, guaranteed, right? Other than that, he has a right to record government employees in the official course of their duties. We all know that. But you see, that's not just good enough for the auditor to walk into these places, record 30 minutes down the line, tell them he wants to follow FOIA, and that's it. No, because he's still made to look like he's the subject. He's still made to look like now he has to have cops hovering around him while he files his FOIA. He's the subject, he's the peon. I don't like that. I don't like that no more. Like I said, the mindset has to be the auditor is in there, him or her having the power of holding the government accountable, and them being the subject, the government bad actor or a good actor being the subject. You see what I'm saying? So if the auditor just switches his game up a little bit in Illinois auditors specifically, let's say the auditor goes in there now and switches up. This is their format right now. This is what the auditors are doing out here in Illinois. Like I just told you, they'll go in there, they'll record, which is their right. Then in the end, when the public officials say they think the person has no business being in there, they call police come around. Now the auditor says, okay, well, I want to file FOIA. So of course they have to do that. But what I'm saying is, this is what they should do moving forward if they want to continue to do that style. Okay, fine. Go into the place, walk around, record. Don't even engage. You don't even have to tell them what you're there for. Just tell them you're exercising your right. That's it. Now, when they call the police and say you don't have a purpose, instead of at that time saying, yes, I do have a purpose, I'm going to file a FOIA. How about at that time you say, I noticed that there's no operating budget displayed here. It's required to be displayed. Where are these people's money? Where is this city hall's money? Right? Where's their money? This is what I like. This is what I want to see. When the auditor goes in there and says, no, I'm not just here filing a FOIA, officer. Oh, they called you. They said I don't have a purpose here? Well, guess what? I do have a purpose here. I'm entitled. The auditor should say he or she is entitled to locate the purpose, the total amount of operating budget, the purpose of this agency, a short description, mission statement. Where's that, officer? Okay, so let me get this straight. So these government officials called you as a police officer to come here because they said I don't have a purpose to be here. Well, guess what, officer? Actually, I do have a purpose to be here. Now that they called you, officer, I want you to turn your mind over and turn your paperwork over on these public officials. Why? Because under Section 4 is telling me these people have to have their money up on the wall. Their total amount of operating budget has to be visible. 10 million has to be seen on the wall. 50 million has to be observable on the wall. What else do you need? You need that budget? Oh, okay. So now the police officer's mind is twisted. Now the police officer, he doesn't look at you as the cameraman no more. He looks at you like he has to protect you, and he has to look and he has to think with you on why is this government official, actually this man is showing me the law on this piece of paper or on his cell phone. So he's got a point. This auditor is actually saying that these people's money should be on the wall. These people's purpose should be displayed. Their organizational chart should be displayed. The officer should say one thing. This auditor has a good point. So they call Stacy, the receptionist. Stacy, this auditor's actually, the officer would tell Stacy, the receptionist, Stacy, did you call the police on this man and say he had no purpose? Well, at that time, he wouldn't state his business. Well, he told you he has a constitutional right to record, but now he's asking for something else. He's saying that you're required to post your total amount of operating budget on the wall. Oh, well, we didn't know that. Our FOIA officer's not here. So you see how the thing changes and switches up? I'm almost close to my destination and I'm gonna shut down this feed. But what I'm saying is, if you folks are the ones who follow around auditors, you folks are subscribed to the auditors, you folks leave comment on the auditors channel all day, every day. So it's an obligation on you folks to tell your local Illinois auditors and all auditors to really step their game up. Yes, it's too late. Yesterday was Halloween. The auditors should have dressed up like audit them. They should have had a clipboard and graphics in their hair with a number 2 Esquire pencil, and they should have said, I'm audit them for Halloween. I want to hold government accountable, and I want results like him. Look at my about section. 9,000 auditors. There's not one auditor out of 9,000 except for audit them that has results on his community section. And these results did not even have to get to court. We don't even have to take this stuff to court yet. We don't even have to take none of this stuff to court. Audit them made these people comply without court. And this is why I created a NOF, notice of finding, for the ones that don't want to comply. That has a true phase to it that I didn't even discuss yet. That's what the auditors should have done yesterday. They should have dressed up as audit them for Halloween, just so they could claim they have results while auditing. Yep. But then again, if you folks follow the auditors, if you folks leave comments moving forward, any auditor in Illinois that releases a video, if he's not FOIA auditing, saying, hey man, you gotta step your game up. Go to Audit Dim's about section and figure out how to step your game up. We're sad seeing you, our brothers and sister auditor. We're sad of seeing you still police coming and treating you like you're the subject. I don't like that no more. To see police and government staff still pointing fingers at Illinois auditors and treating them like they're subject. The police shows up, now they want the auditor to mumble and fumble. No. But then again, hey, I'll give it another 2 more years. I said that 2 years ago. I'll give them 2 more years before the auditors start picking up this auditing. Give them 2 more years. But anyway, yeah, so the key is the auditing would never die out, because what is auditing? It's people exercising their right. Right? This will never die out. It will always continue. But the auditors will also continue to be subjects and victims if they don't want to step their game up. So that's why it's onto you guys as followers to go and anytime an auditor, Illinois auditor, or any auditor release a video, you folks leave in their comment section, tell them, hey man, step your game up. Go audit them. Have results. Flip your about section to actual results. Go to audit them about section right now. You'll see what I'm talking about. Man, again, thank you guys all for coming in here. I just wanted to come in here real quick and say that, man, because it's really a bad call, man. It's a bad call. But that's what the auditors should have done. They should have dressed up like audit them for Halloween and had 3 things in their hand: graphics in their hair, an Esquire pencil, and a clipboard, and an about section with results. They ask you, oh, what are you supposed to be for Halloween? I'm audit them, the world's favorite auditor, the one who got results. And the one that trolls will die. Trolls will actually die without any dignity. Trolls will die. Trolls, in another 100 years, trolls will be gone with. But our rights would live on forever. The trolls are the naysayers. Anyways, the one who encourages you to audit them. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm dropping some stuff this week. Hot stuff.